tradition, Lilith, Adam's first wife, was banned from Eden due to the battle of wills between the two. Tradition has named her a demon, among other things. Today, many defend her for being a victim of male patriarchy. Seeing the myth from a new perspective, in my opinion, its symbolism has little to do with the suppression of female sovereignty, but with the need to level the levels of consciousness. Lilith was energetically too assertive to be able to combine with Adam's energy. She had her own will and wanted to do things her way. Adam too. Continuing with the symbology, the incompatibility between Lilith and Adam didn't allow the achievement of the divine plan. Tradition says that the Creator decided to replace Lilith with Eve, and this has made her a victim of patriarchal power. But we are forgetting something or someone: Eve. Eve is also the representation of the feminine and was fully accepted by Adam. However, Eve has not been a submissive woman. After all, she disobeyed God. Being only cast out, Lilith's presence did not disappear, but was simply eradicated from the status quo that reigned in Eden. So, what does Lilith represent today? Why is she still among us? The suppression of women since the beginning of patriarchy has been about the archetype of Eve, not Lilith. Nobody has suppressed Lilith. She is hidden in the night. This makes me think that Lilith and Eve are one. The expulsion from paradise that fell on Lilith symbolized the elimination of consciousness, a state of forgetfulness of Eve, in order to recover the state of innocence and join Adam. Once converted into Eve, she allowed herself to be convinced by the serpent, her own shadow, or Lilith, to eat the forbidden fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Faced with Eve's doubts, the serpent told her, "No, you will not die. God knows very well that when you eat from that tree, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like gods, knowing good and evil." The interpretations of the story of Adam and Eve has brought dire consequences to our civilization. Women and everything related to the feminine has been punished for centuries and centuries. Men also have been victims of this, especially in regard to the suppression of emotions and the integration of their own moons. However, there are new interpretations of the symbolism of what happened in Eden. It is becoming more and more popular to see the fall of Adam and Eve as a symbol of coming down to the earth plane and evolving through contrast and duality. Basically, the fall from paradise started the path of self-awareness and human evolution. The original sin gives us self-awareness. And why the temptation of the serpent? Says Krishnamurti, pleasure is the fabric of society. From childhood to death, we are secretly, cunningly, and obviously pursuing pleasure. The snake knew it. Only the prospect of a greater and unknown pleasure makes us leave our comfort zone. In the case of Adam and Eve, their pleasure was becoming like gods. In astrology, the Black Moon, Lilith, represents the shadow of our moon. Her energy is found in our unconscious. Lilith is presented as the serpent that convinces us to eat the forbidden fruit, and as a consequence go down a path that otherwise we would not have taken. Delving into the abysses of our unconscious awakens very deep resistance, since as humans, the vast majority of us take comfort in the security of what we know. And this is the dark side of the moon, keeping us in an eternally childish state, not wanting to grow. The energy of Lilith has been demonized through the ages. Lilith has been defined as the incarnation of lust, the one that makes men go astray, and as a child-killing witch who strangles defenseless neonates. This definition became popular when therapy didn't exist yet. Today, we could call on Lilith as a helper who magnetically attracts us to investigate the most archaic areas of our unconscious. You may have seen more than one Lilith in the birth chart: Mean Lilith, True Lilith, Asteroid Lilith, and Dark Moon or Waldemath Lilith. Mean Lilith position is based on a mathematical average and not the true position. This is the one that has been used traditionally. True Lilith, the exact position, can be calculated by adding H13 in Additional Objects section on astro.com. This Lilith is also called the Oscillating Lilith. The asteroid Lilith was discovered on February 11, 1927. The asteroid orbits within the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. This Lilith is related to the asteroid Eris, and Eris is the farthest astrological planet from the Sun, passing the orbit of Pluto. While Eris acts on a transpersonal level, asteroid Lilith acts between our assertiveness and the generational exploration of new horizons. And more on Eris in an upcoming video. The fourth Lilith, or H58, is the Dark Moon, also known as Waldemath Lilith. For interpretation, you can use all the positions of Lilith, since each one can bring immense information about unconscious mechanisms that need to be healed. Lilith submerges into the unconscious world to make it conscious and promote a deep healing of everything that doesn't allow us to feel our moon in a healthy and nourishing way. The way Lilith manifests depends on the sign and the house she is in. What we all share is that Lilith brings to light an energy that we surrender to as if it were a dream from which we cannot wake up. The discomfort caused by the activation of our Lilith tells us about the dark areas of our consciousness where ignorance reigns, and walking in the shadows is a catalyst for the internal chaos typical of Lilith. Lilith shows us wild parts of ourselves that lack human consciousness. We have to give these parts awareness, and one way to achieve this is from the qualities of the sign where Lilith is, but always honoring the needs of our moon. I will explain this in the next video. I mention again that the energy of Lilith is present in both women and men. However, in the case of men, it can sometimes be so repressed that it is projected onto the women on their lives, and this can happen to women too. In the next videos, I will go through Lilith in the signs and the houses, so subscribe to my channel and you will receive the notifications of the new videos.